Hello friends, welcome to our weekly card class. You may have already seen me once this week for my flash class, but welcome back. Today we are going to be creating some fun cards with the Banner Sayings bundle. This one is an online exclusive, so maybe it has slipped past your radar, but it's kind of a fun little bundle, so I hope that you are going to enjoy today's cards. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Rachel Trout. And every Thursday I come here for another card class. And if you would like to get a card kit so that you can make the cards that we make today, you can shop with me this week now through Tuesday. And when you spend more than $50 before tax and shipping, and after any Stampin' Rewards or coupons that you use, I will send you a card kit to make the cards that we are making this week. So we are going to flip the camera down and take a look at those cards. I'm also going to show you again the cards that I made in my flash class earlier this week. That card kit is available for purchase through Wednesday of next week. And so I'll put a link in the description of the video for that as well. And a couple more reminders before we get started. If you earned any bonus days coupons last month, Saturday is the last day that you can use those coupons. So make sure that they don't go to waste. I had no trouble using mine. I used them right away. But if you still have some bonus days coupons hanging out there, make sure you use them before Saturday is over. Also, it's hard to believe that we're at the end of February, but we had a starter kit special this month too. And I think I talked about it maybe one other time, but the month has flown by, and the starter kit offer actually goes through Monday, I believe, the 2nd, March 2nd. And the deal is this, so the starter kit's $99 and you get to pick out $125 of product. You also get free shipping, which is awesome. It's an 11% savings. So you won't pay shipping on those products. And the deal this month is you get our brand new Stampin' Positioner, which is a stamping positioning tool for free as part of your starter kit. It's a $49 value. It looks like it's a great tool. I talked about this before. I missed out on my chance to order one. It is going to be available for purchase sometime later on, I think this year, but they haven't given us a date yet, so you won't be able to get it until then, and you'll have to buy it. So if you're not already a demonstrator, you can join us, try out the Stampin' Up experience, and get your Stampin' Positioner for free, which is awesome. So you have a little bit more time till Saturday for the bonus days coupons, and then until Monday for the starter kit offer. So just make sure if you wanted to take advantage of that, you do it soon. I'll put a link for that in the description of the video also. And if you have any questions, just comment or send me a message and I can get them answered for you. All right, let's flip our camera down and we are going to first take a look at the cards from my flash class this week. So it's called a flash class because it came in a flash and it's going to leave again in a flash. Whoops, oh my goodness. Sometimes I have trouble with my holder and I guess today is one of those days. It keeps snapping on me. All right, hopefully that wasn't too bad for you there. Okay, for our flash class this week, we used the Valentine Kisses bundle. And if you want to go back and watch the class, you can find it by scrolling down on my Facebook page. It's still there right now. Or it's on my YouTube channel. And it is a little over an hour long because I made all 5 cards from start to finish with you. We even cut the designer series paper so you could see how to do that. And if you want, you can order a class kit so you can make these 5 cards. This is kind of like a Valentine's themed bundle, but it is not, these aren't necessarily Valentine cards because obviously that holiday is over. But they are cute, they're fun. So your class is going to include a whole pack of this Love Notes designer series paper. It's a 6x6 paper. You are going to get a pack of these pearlized faceted circles, which are just gorgeous, and I've been using them on all my projects. And then you'll get a roll of this balmy blue ribbon. And if you watch the video, you will see that we use those products on your cards, but you're going to have a lot left over. so you can keep creating and making other projects. And you get a card kit so that you can make the 5 cards. It includes all the pieces that you'll need, like this embossing is done for you, and the die cutting's done for you. For things that are in the Valentine Kisses bundle, like this bear, you'll get a piece of cardstock that is the right size so you can stamp him and color him and die cut him. So there's a registration form. The class is $47 plus shipping. And then you have options to add on the Valentine Kisses bundle and any of the inks or adhesives that you might need. So I will pop the registration link in the description of the video for this class also. And again, the deadline for that one is Wednesday. Okay, let's move on to what we are using today. So today we're going to be using the Banner Sayings bundle. So this one is an online exclusive. It's not in a catalog, and it came out in November, I think. So it's been around a little while, but I was distracted by Christmas projects then, Christmas products, and then we had Valentine's Day, and I got this one, and I thought, now it's time to use it. So I have been saying I need more birthday cards. There's a birthday sentiment in here. The thing I really like about this stamp set is that you can mix and match all of these sentiments. So cue the confetti can go to celebrate, here's to you, happy birthday. You can mix and match, I'm here for you, consider yourself hugged. There's a lot of different combinations that you can come up with. And then you have the triple banner punch. So it has 3 different shapes of banners. And of course, all the sentiments fit in those banners. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to use this punch today. And I think this is a really fun bundle. The other thing that I have paired it with is our Beach Boardwalk Designer Series paper. I did not end up getting this whole suite of products, but I thought the paper was really fun. So I did get the paper. But if you like the look of this, there is a bundle that coordinates with it. There's puffy stickers, and I forget if there's anything else, but I just got the paper because I think it's fun. So we're going to use some of the images from this sheet today. Then I really like these. These are kind of more, well, I guess it's not ombre because it's different colors, but you've got little splatters in there. These are good for stamping on or background pieces. Love these palm trees. Who doesn't love pink and purple palm trees? Don't you wish they actually grew in that color? So pretty. It's like a sunset. And then this one is kind of pinks and purples. That same. It has like a slight texture to it, but great for stamping. This one is cool too. It is little suns, and there's a little bit of orange at the bottom and then yellow up to the top. This one's kind of a pretty piece. We're going to use this on our second card today. I like the look of that one. This one looks like the ocean or the pool. Very beachy. There's also a scrapbooking workshop kit that coordinates with this paper. So if you like it, you might like that too. Another one with a mix of colors here. Looks kind of like a sunset in the sky to me. This one is great for card fronts because you can cut down the middle and then cut them apart with the palm tree silhouettes. If you love the beach, you will love this paper. And I think these 2 are my favorite that look like this. It looks to me like, you know, a string of lights. I don't know. I just think it's pretty. And it goes from purples to pinks to oranges at the top. This one has a lot of fun, like ticket stubs, and this almost mimics one of the shapes in the triple banner punch. It's a little bit larger, but they could work well together there. And then the back of this one is pool party of that looks like light strings. I really, really like that one. So we're going to use that paper today on our cards, and I think you're going to like them. All right, let's take a look at our first card today. This one I shared earlier this week, and I love this color combination. So a fun little thing about this card, I was using some of our outgoing in colors. So every year we get new in colors, and we know the ones from 2 years ago are going to retire. And I'm very sad because they are bright, fun colors. One of my favorite sets we've had in a long time. And so I am using some of those in colors before they are gone for good. If you like them, make sure you get some of the products that are out of stock right now or on our low inventory list. Once they are put on the last chance list, which I think will be in April, they're going to be while supplies last, and they might be gone pretty fast. So if you see anything, the colors are Pretty in Pink, Petunia Pop, Peach Pie, Summer Splash, and Shy Shamrock. And if you see any of those products in those colors that are out of stock right now, get your name on the list. So they'll tell you when they come back in. But this one is Summer Splash, and then Fresh. I think this is Fresh Freesia, but we have the Petunia Pop dots here, and the Pool Party. Just a really pretty color combination. I thought this cardstock was Summer Splash when I punched it, but it's actually Coastal Cabana. So Coastal Cabana and Summer Splash are kind of similar colors. Summer Splash is just a little bit darker. So I meant for that to be Summer Splash, but the banners are actually Coastal Cabana. Oh well, if you look, you can see a little bit of a difference, but they are pretty similar. Maybe it doesn't even show up that well on camera. So they're color buddies, as we call them. All right, for this one, we have a Pool Party card base, 5.5 by 8.5. And we'll fold that in half. And then I have a piece of basic white, and this one I embossed with our Soft Waves embossing folder. This is a great match for that Beach Boardwalk suite because it is like waves. Or, you know, it could look kind of like wavy clouds too. So either way, I think it goes well with this suite. And I think I'm going to put this side down. You can decide which of the texture you want showing. This piece is 3 3/4 by 5. And then the Summer Splash piece is just 1/8 of an inch bigger. So 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And we're just going to adhere all of these layers flat to our card base. Like this. I already love those colors together. Okay, then I have 2 circles that I punched out of the Designer Series paper, and these were punched with our 2 3/8 inch circle punch. That is our largest circle punch that we have. We do have other circles like the Stylish Shapes dies and the Spotlight on Nature dies, but I thought a punch is nice and easy, and this was about the right size that I wanted for my card. Hopefully I don't run out of my Stampin' Seal. That always happens when you're on live video, wouldn't you know? I'm going to overlap them a little bit just in the middle there. Now, embellishments and ribbon are not included in your card kit. That makes it easier for me to send and keeps it flat. So you can use whatever you have, or you can add on the things I used to your order. Unfortunately, after I started using this twine for these cards, it went out of stock. And it's not expected back in for a while. But I would substitute the Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and you could use just the white, or you could pick one of the other colors if you want. Or if you have some of that gold twisted thread that we had a while back, that would look good here too. But this is the black and white and gold Baker's Twine. I think it's Baker's Twine. And I'm using the white and gold on my cards today. But if you don't have this, you can substitute just Baker's Twine or linen thread or something like that. Because after I started making cards with this stuff, it went out of stock. I think it's because we had free shipping last week and everybody ordered all the stuff they wanted, and this must have been something they wanted. I don't know. All right, so I just tied a bow with it, and I'm going to kind of center that on my circles. And we might trim this down a little bit. We'll see. But I have it in place with a glue dot. Now I've already punched ahead of time my banners with my 3-banner punch. I keep wanting to call it the triple banner punch. I think we had one that was called that a while back, but this is the 3-banner punch because you get 3 banners in 3 different sizes. And we are going to heat emboss 3 of our sentiments here. Now you could use different ones if you wanted to than I did. But I'm using Celebrate, Here's to You, and You Did It. And I'm going to use Versamark ink. That's what you'll want to use. That thing I was rubbing across there is called the Embossing Buddy. And it is part of our Embossing Additions Toolkit, I believe it's called. And it helps get rid of all the static and everything, so the embossing powder will only stick to where we stamped with the ink. So this ink stays wet a little bit longer than our regular ink, so that way the powder will stick to it when we add it in. So you can stamp all 3 at once, and it'll still be wet enough to catch that powder when we add it. So our embossing powders come in packs of 3. This is the Basics Wow embossing powder, and this is the white. And so I'm just gonna add that to our sentiments here. And sometimes you gotta blow a little bit to get the extra little specks off, but it really shouldn't stick anywhere else when you use the Embossing Buddy. So I'm just tapping that. I have found it's easiest to put my embossing powder in a container like this. Oh, and my brush must have fallen out of my... So this toolkit comes, the ink is separate, but it comes with the tweezers, the Embossing Buddy, and the tray, and then there's a little brush, but mine must have fallen out in my drawer that I keep it in. Because you can use the little brush to brush off the little extra powder there too. And I don't know about you, but whenever I heat emboss with the embossing powder, I get the powder everywhere. Even though I try hard not to. Winds up everywhere. Okay, so then I like to use the tweezers. Now this is going to be a little tricky because I have 3 of them. I don't want them to blow everywhere. I'm going to move those 2 to the side. And we will do this one first. We're going to set it with our heat tool, so hang tight for a second. It'll take a little bit for it to warm up. Here we go. All right, I think I got it. Whenever I'm in here in this light, I cannot see it as well, and I did blow my other ones a little bit, so hopefully they didn't get smeared. All right, here's the second one. Right, and that third one flipped over here, so let's see, hopefully it looks okay still. Let's heat that one. Okay, I think it's good. Like I said, the light in here makes it really hard to see when it's getting shiny. I don't know why. Okay, so now we're going to attach these to our card with some dimensionals and go over that twine in the middle. So I'm actually going to start with the middle one, the Here's to You, because then I can center everything else around that. I'm going to put one on each side, that way the knot for our twine can kind of sit in the middle there. And you can kind of arrange where you want that to land. Here's to You. Then we'll do the Celebrate. Oh, Tina says she just ordered the embossing set and the tweezers are really nice. They are. They're very strong, so you don't have to feel like you're going to, you know, move and they're going to come out of place. They really stay where you want them to stay. They might be my favorite part of that set, actually. It's the tweezers. All right, and then the You Did It. that over here. And I kind of offset these other ones like that, but you can do it however you want. I think I'm going to trim my tails of my twine just a little bit. Doesn't always stay where you want it to stay, does it? Okay, something like that. And then we're going to finish off with some of our in color pearls here. So these are the outgoing in colors. Do you have a favorite of these? I really like Summer Splash and Petunia Pop. So one thing that you may have seen floating around this week is that we are getting a new style of ink pads coming with our new in colors this year. If you are familiar with Close to My Heart, it is their same style of ink pads, and I am excited to try those out. They also let us know that they are going to do a color refresh next year, and that's when you'll be able to get the rest of the ink pads in that style. And I don't know, I'm hoping some of these colors might come back in a color refresh. I really like the Petunia Pop. I think I'm going to miss that one the most. So we'll see. You know, I've been around Stampin' Up! For several color refreshes. The first one, I absolutely hated it. But now I kind of like it, especially when good colors come back. So I am crossing my fingers for Petunia Pop. But you let me know in the comments if you had a favorite in color with this set or not. Joan said this would be a great graduation card. Yeah, and you could change for the school colors. I like that idea a lot. I just thought this looked kind of like celebration, like, you know, well, it does look like the string of lights, but like, or a streamer or something. So, yep. And Tina says she agrees. It's a great idea for a grad card. Yep. So, like, the sentiments can be really versatile in this set. Because celebrate and here's to you could be for birthday too. So lots of mixing and matching possibilities. Okay, if you are new to my videos, I like to send the cards that I make every week. And so I'm going to put this one back in the envelope, and I choose winners from everyone who comments. And I usually do that on Monday, and I send them out. If I already have your address, I send it to you as a surprise, and if not, I'll reach out and ask you. And I like to send the cards. So make sure you say hi and let me know you're here. This is our second card for today. Like I said, I need more birthday cards, so I had to do happy birthday, and then I paired it with sending my love. But there is a lot of different sentiments. You could use the cue the confetti again, or yeah, cue the confetti. We're going to use that one on the last card today. Here's to you, celebrate, all sorts of different things. Now, we're going to use the punch in a little bit different way on this one. We're going to create kind of a fun background back here. And I wanted to show you how I did it. You'll get the punched pieces already in your card kit. But I wanted to show you how I punched that and I didn't waste a bunch of the designer series paper. So when we get to that part, I'm going to punch it. But if you get the card kit with your order this week, I'll have it punched ahead of time. Now I noticed in this designer series paper that one sheet has a lot of fun images. I believe in this suite there are some dies that cut out some of these things. But I also noticed there's only a couple of the balloons on each sheet. There's actually only 2 that you can cut out. So you may get a different image. This card we're going to use the carousel, but really you might get the Ferris wheel or the cotton candy stand, and any of those things would work just for like a little different themed birthday card. So we're going to do this one, and then you can vote on which version you like better. But your card kit might include a different image, just to let you know. All right, for this one we have a thick basic white card base, 5.5 by 8.5. We'll fold that in half, and I'm going to set that off to the side here. Then I have a piece of white that's 4 by 5.25, and this one I have embossed with the dotted circles 3D embossing folder. This is another one of my favorites. I love polka dots, so Joan says she hasn't received a surprise card for a while. I'm mad at her. No, Joan, actually, you probably are going to get a bunch in the mail. I've been behind on sending them, but I caught up this week. And so my stack of cards that I took to the mailbox the other day was quite large. So check your mailbox today if you haven't, because I feel like some of them are coming to you. I'm not mad at you. Oh, you're funny though. Okay, Joan says this is her favorite embossing folder. Yep, I really like this one too. Okay, so there's 3 different shapes on this punch. We're going to use this bottom one here. Now, if you don't want to punch all 3 shapes, you just want to use one of them. You just need to cut a strip that is 3/4 of an inch wide, and that fits so that you're not really having any waste. So you can use whichever one you want, and you can punch it out, and we are going to need 9 of this shape for this card. I'm actually going to use the other side. I don't know why I'm punching on the sun side, but it doesn't really matter. So there we have 3, maybe. Oh man, guys, when I was making my last card today, I'm having troubles with this punch. The paper got stuck in there. I think it just did it again. And it popped apart, and I thought, oh no, I just broke my punch. And how am I going to make my cards? All right, it's good. And so I don't know if there is a defect in my punch where it gets stuck, because look, it didn't quite get that, or it's because I didn't flip it over. But I was afraid I broke the punch, and then I was able to pop it back into place, and all was well. So hopefully all will stay well. I think it was maybe just user error. If you turn it over, you get a little bit more pressure and it works a little better, I think. So I'll just do that. All right, I think this is number 9. All right, that will be an extra piece. Okay, so you can see there was hardly any waste. So if that's my tip for you, if you just want to use one of the banners, just cut a 3/4 inch strip of paper and it will work out great. So now we're just going to line these up at kind of an angle across here. I know you were just kidding, Joan. I just get behind on sending my cards sometimes, and I always send them, but sometimes it takes me a while. What happened was I got behind because in January we went out of town for a weekend, and we weren't home until late that Monday night, and usually I do it on Mondays. I send all the cards out for my Share It Saturday winners and my card class comment winners, and since I didn't do it on Monday, it slipped through the cracks that week, and then I got behind and didn't do it the next week either, or the next week, or quite a few weeks after that, and so I finally caught up. Now I gotta stay caught up. All right, so something like that, you can kind of lay it out ahead of time. Because this is kind of a bumpier embossing folder, I'm going to use liquid glue because I don't think the Stampin' Seal will stick quite as well as the glue will. And I want these to stick down. So they are going to hang off the edge, so don't attach this piece to your card base until after you have done this, because then we'll trim the edges off. So it doesn't all have to be laid out ahead of time, but you can kind of do that to see where you want it on this piece. Just somewhere along the middle, kind of more towards the bottom, I think, than the top. But you can decide, be creative. Tina says her punch got stuck too. Yeah, I don't know if it's just the paper gets stuck in the wrong place, but mine actually popped apart and I really was afraid I had broken it. Come on, glue. I need to open up a new glue. Every time I use it, I think I should get a new one out, and I don't. Because I want to use it to the last drop. Okay. Sometimes I feel like, too, there are certain punches that are more futzy than others, and maybe it's just the way this one is shaped or something. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna have to write myself a note to get out a new glue for the next video. There we go. All right, while I glue these, you have to let me know in the comments if you are up to anything exciting today or this week. We have my son has a basketball game this afternoon and we have to go across to the other side of Phoenix. So that is always, well, traffic is never fun. Since my husband's in the office today, we're going to go pick him up first and he'll drive the rest of the way in the really bad traffic. So I won't have to, which is nice, but kind of a pain. It's our last regular basketball game of the season, and then we have tournaments the next 2 weekends, which is busy but fun. I love watching basketball, so I enjoy it. And it's my daughter's last year. She's not going to play in high school, and she's going to high school in fall, so it has been fun to watch her. She had a game on Monday, also on the other side of Phoenix. We had to drive twice this week, which usually it's one game is home and one's away, but this week they were both away. And she plays, both the teams are co-ed this year because they don't have enough kids to do separate teams, and so she's playing against boys and with boys, and she got trampled pretty good on Monday. She got pretty bruised up, but thankfully it was just bruises, no broken bones or anything worse. But she fell and landed on her knees going after the ball, and then a boy landed on top of her, so it was not good, but she's doing okay, just sore. And she doesn't have to play again until her tournament next weekend, so she has some time to heal. Okay, now let's put this on our card base now that we've trimmed those edges. And you could use the glue again, or you can use, I think Stampin' Seal works okay on embossed pieces like this, as long as you're doing it on the right side. And what I mean by that is, like, it doesn't work as well on the bumpier side. If it works on it works fine on the back side is what I have found most of the time. Joan says she's going to do yard work because it's spring. And lunch tomorrow with her sister-in-law. Well, lunch sounds much better than yard work. There's plenty of yard work to be done here, too. Okay, I'm going to cut this out. So if you have this suite of products, I don't know if there's dies to cut out the carousel, but there might be for the Ferris wheel, or I don't know if there is for the balloons or not. I haven't looked at this bundle too much, but you might be able to fussy cut some of the images, or die cut some of the images. I don't know. I'm just fussy cutting because I don't have the bundle. The balloons are pretty easy. I don't think this one's too hard either. So I'll use these two first, but if I get a lot of orders this week and I need to, I'll include the popcorn, or the cotton candy card, I mean. Or one of the Ferris wheels. Any of them would be a fun card. And then you can use whatever sentiments you want. I'm making mine birthday cards because I have lots of birthday cards to send, and I am trying to send them on time this year. And at all. I make a ton of cards, but sending them is not my strong suit. Oh, Tina's granddaughter is turning 11 on Sunday. Do you have a card made for her yet, Tina? I don't have February birthdays, but I have 4 or 5 nephews that have birthdays in March. I don't remember. There's lots of birthdays in our family in March. My husband's birthday is in March too, so I've started working on those. Okay, then we have a circle for our sentiment. Now with this one, I might put it over the top. I don't know. I should have spaced this better before I attached it. Lay it out first. The balloons were pretty easy. I'm going to peel this off and see if there's a better place to put it. I think I need a little more room for my circle. All right, let's see. Maybe, let's see, it's going to be in the middle. So maybe I want it up like that. I don't know. I don't want to cover up all of my arrows either. I don't know. This one's a little trickier. I might have to overlap some. Maybe something like that. I don't know. All right, I'll give you the balloons if I have enough balloons, because this is a little trickier, but we'll make it work. I think I'll just I'll do something like that. Okay. For this one, I'm going to use Strawberry Slush ink, which is a color that is in the designer series paper. So I was looking at the list of colors on this Beach Boardwalk paper, and I think there are more colors than they list there. But Strawberry Slush is one of the listed ones. I think that might be, and I think some of them are faded too. I think Strawberry Slush might be the color on the horses for the carousel. So I thought that, and I think it's the color of the balloons also. So I'm doing happy birthday, sending my love, but like I said, you can mix and match any sentiments you like. Joan has 3 March birthdays. Yep. And Tina says she tries to make something special for the grandkids. Yep. That is the fun of card making and paper crafting, is that you can personalize it. So I love that. So we have in March, we have new online exclusives coming, and there is a suite of products that is soccer themed. Now, I don't care too much about soccer, but I have a couple of nephews that absolutely love soccer. And I was like, you know what? This is perfect. I'm going to get this suite of products, and that is what I'm using to make their birthday cards this year. Oh, okay. Tina says she likes the circle tucked under. I suppose it covers up. Yeah, I don't want to cover up the words, though. Well, you know what? If you get the card kit and you get this one, you can put it however you want. I'm going to put it like that. All right, and then for the balloons, I tied my bow and put it on the balloons. I think I'm going to put it on top of my carousel. And see if I can get this. Sometimes this stuff is like wound so tight, it just wants to curl back up on itself. But I think I like it better when, you know, our twine and stuff used to be wrapped a long way around a piece of cardboard, and then you'd get like lines in the twine too. So I don't know which way is better. Probably this, but it likes to wind up on itself. All right, I'm going to put that at the top of my carousel. And I think we just need to trim this one just a tiny bit. Oh, that's turning out cute. I like the colors on this one better, maybe. I don't know. Okay, and then let's see where I stuck my dots. Underneath here. And I used some of the pretty and pink ones this time. I had to look for my Take Your Pick tool. This is not that big of a space, but somehow I managed to lose things on this desk every week when I am doing videos. Don't know where I set it. Usually it's underneath something else. So I am going to add quite a few because they're pretty. And I like pretty embellishments. You can add as few or as many as you want. All right, so there is our second card. Let me know which version you like better. Do you like the balloons or do you like the carousel? I don't know. I think I like the colors of the carousel better, but I almost like the balloon version better. I don't know. It's hard to choose. So you choose. You tell me which ones you like. I'm going to stick this one into an envelope for another lucky winner. And then we're going to move on to our third card, which uses those pretty purple and pink palm trees and Blackberry Bliss, which is one of my favorite colors because it's purple. And I love purple. Okay. Now, this is the one that almost broke my punch, or so I thought. I did like I did on the last card, and I cut a 3/4 inch piece of the pretty in pink. So I could just use this banner 3 times, and the third one, it got stuck and popped open, but thankfully I was able to pop it back in. So hopefully you will not have any problems like that with your punches. Okay, for this one we have a Blackberry Bliss card base, 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. Now this is just the back side of this designer series paper, so I paired them together. This piece is 4 by 5.25, and I think I'm out of Stampin' Seal. So we're gonna have to resort to glue. I'll survive. And my glue is deciding to come out nicely now, so that's good. Stamp and Seal refills is one of the things I bought on free shipping last week because I always use them. That and white cardstock and envelopes, I think, were my big free shipping purchases. Okay, this piece of the Designer Series paper is 3 by 4 1/4. And then we're going to put it on a Blackberry Bliss mat that is 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. So just a narrow little border to kind of help it pop off the card. All right, now before you attach this part, we are going to wrap our twine around a few times and tie in a bow. So make sure I have a long enough piece here to tie in a bow, and see I'm getting to the end, so it's getting more and more curly. That's when it likes to wrap back up and not stay where you want it. So I'm just going to tie my bow, and I think on my first card, my sample, I think I even put a little glue dot underneath the bow just to kind of hold it where I wanted, but we'll see how it lays once I get it on here. We're going to add this layer with some dimensionals. And then we'll do our stamping. All right. That on there. I might trim these a little. I'm going to get my sentiments on there first, and then we will see. Okay, so I just did 3 of the same banner, and this time we're going to use Blackberry Bliss ink, and wishing you good things, cue the confetti, you're the sweetest. So you could give this card for a lot of different reasons. It could be like a congratulations of some sort. It could be birthday. You could make it whatever you want. Put another sentiment inside the card. And I like mixing the fonts too, so this more scripty one put in the middle and the other ones put on the outside, like a pattern, but you can really do it however you want. Okay, so we're going to add these with dimensionals also. I'm going to start with the Cue the Confetti because that one goes in the center, and I want to get it centered over my twine. Oh, yep, Joan says happy retirement. Actually, now that you say that, that is what I was thinking when I first made this card, because of the palm trees. You know, when you retire, you should just go live on a beach, right? I don't know how much of a reality that is for most people, but it sounds nice. So, yeah, you're right, Joan. That is what I was thinking when I first made this card, was retirement. Actually, a beach sounds lovely right about now. A beach vacation. But I don't have the time or the money to take a beach vacation right now. Okay, and then we're going to use the Petunia Pop pearls for this one. My favorite retiring in color. I think I like it so much because it is a purple, and purple is my favorite color. You can tell which one is my least favorite by looking at my pearls, the peach pie, right? Okay, so there is our last card. We will tuck that one in for another winner. And then I'm going to bring all 3 back in so you can take a look at our cards for today. Take a vote in the comments. Let me know which one is your favorite. Mine is definitely this one, mostly because I love the colors. And don't forget, you can get the card kit when you shop with me now through Tuesday. I do appreciate it so much when you order. You know, I started this business not really needing extra income. It was just a fun thing to do. But we have had some big bills recently, and my daughter is going to a private high school next year that is considerably more expensive than what we have been paying for school. So your orders help support my family, and I greatly appreciate that. And I hope that you enjoy the cards and you enjoy the card kits too, because it's so much fun to put them together and send them to you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next week. Bye.